For our second keynote speaker this morning, I'm absolutely delighted to talk about our next customer, a customer that we mentioned earlier on, a customer that is facing its own challenges in managing its customer experience. To help us understand those challenges and how Couchbase is helping, please welcome Scott Carney, Director of Software Development for Comcast.
Well, good morning. It's an honor to be here. I'm really excited for today. Excited that you guys have an agenda talking about customer service and customer experience, because that is a lot about what Comcast is involved with right now. So a little history. I've been only at Comcast for about 2 years. I spent the bulk of my career in healthcare IT, most recently working with doctors, nurses, pharmacists, transforming, their workflows to use IT solutions to improve patient care. So a couple years ago, a friend of mine working at Comcast suggested that I may become the Comcast. He talked about Comcast going through what he called a transformation, which is changing the culture, changing the goals, changing everything that they did to improve the customer experience. And I've been a long-time Comcast subscriber, customer on the other side. And so I like the sound of the transformation and the sound of that challenge. So I joined Comcast, and one of the first things I did, for my own reasons, but also for the benefit of my organization, is that we went out on the road and met a lot of the different people working at Comcast in the different places where they interact with the customers. We went to call centers where they were working on technical issues, working on billing issues. We went to warehouses, the spokes, the hubs, and met with the folks that were managing all of the Comcast equipment. We went to the Xfinity stores that are popping up around the country. What kind of customer issues are they facing? What are their challenges? We met with the technicians that loaded up their vans and trucks every day, going out to the homes, going out to the businesses, and working with them on, installing new products or fixing, issues that they have. And what we saw was a common theme, that there were a lot of customer interactions and a desire to capture everything the customer was telling us in what they called customer notes. And what we found was that some of the legacy systems that these folks were using in all these different settings had a lot of limitations. And so what we came away with was a proposal where we would leverage Couchbase to build a unified platform that would handle all of these customer notes. So we then partnered with another group at Comcast that built the customer service tool. And it's funny you mentioned 360. That's exactly what they called this product. It's an Einstein 360 product. And really what our proposal was to use Couchbase to build a single unified platform for all of these customer notes. And the key was that we were going to remove any limitations that existed in the existing systems. So if the customer is giving us information, we want to capture all of that information. We wanted to have plenty of ability to put down the Comcast action plan, to solve the customer's problem. So this was the task that we took on to really go after these key requirements. The number one was, again, remove a lot of the different note types that were out there. There were a lot of rules where certain people in certain roles couldn't see certain notes. The speed of finding the information in these notes, instead of going into different applications and different legacy systems looking for the information, we wanted a single place, one click away, and we wanted to put in search capabilities so that the folks working with the customers directly would easily find the information that they needed to solve the problem. So it was a pretty large undertaking. Some of the challenges that we faced, or hurdles as I like to call them, first was, this is the way that folks always do things. So Comcast, fairly large company, a lot of different customer touch points. There is, the needs of someone who's on the support line working on a billing issue is completely different than the needs of somebody who's a technician at a customer's home. And they're used to the systems that they're working. But, again, being part of the transformation, we were excited to go after that challenge. Training. We had a lot of people to train. This really turned into a requirement for us to make this an easy to use, right, almost intuitive solution, for our end users. And then bringing everything together, one place to go for all of this information across all of those workflows was really, to me, the largest challenge that we had. So, again, just to summarize the key things we were going after: single location, search capabilities. We had to get rid of all these limitations, from these legacy systems. And that was, again, a big challenge just because of the different touch points that our Comcast personnel were having. And with any project, there were lots of new requirements that came in during the project. We did some interesting things for a requirement for some profane language management capabilities. So again, my history working with physicians and nurses and pharmacists, never had to deal with any of these kinds of things, so it was kind of a new experience for me, and we'll go through some of that in our session later today. So where are we today? We have started with residential support in September of 2016, and they really wanted to start slow. They only wanted to do what they call a couple markets, and so that's where we started. And after we got those markets live, they were so thrilled with the solution that we had built, leveraging Couchbase, that they really wanted to roll it out to all markets and all of the folks doing any kind of residential support. The word got out, in the Comcast hallways, so we quickly had to move to our business customers that were doing support for the business, retail support. We're currently onboarding our technical support folks. And we have several other Comcast organizations that are, in the queue right now. A key thing I want to mention, which was really important and sort of solidified the reason that we chose Couchbase, is that we didn't pretend to know everything that all of these different roles in Comcast, what they would need. We knew that we would have to adapt the solution along the way, to get it embraced by the rest of Comcast. So we needed something that was flexible. Along the way, we had to add a lot of new note types for the different business units. And this was a key savior for us to get as many folks using this as we have to date. So let me talk a little bit about the NoSQL, why we chose NoSQL, Couchbase, and we'll go into a lot of details at our 12:30 session today. But we really laid out some of the key requirements here. These were things that really leaned us towards, more of a NoSQL solution. We're a heavy Oracle shop. A lot of my other applications are Oracle-based. So this was a new venture for us in my organization. But we felt very strongly about, doing something different to really meet the needs, especially along the growth, and the response times that we were going to need to support this application. So why did we go on to then use Couchbase? So we did some proof of concepts and ran a lot of tests, a lot of evaluations. Again, we'll go through some of those details in our session later today. Clearly, Couchbase was the winner, just from a performance perspective. So that convinced us that this was the right way to go. Then as we were working with other groups at Comcast that were already using Couchbase, they had some time using it. How was the product performing? What was the support like? So there was already some internal support teams onboarded. So to us, it seemed like a perfect, situation to choose Couchbase, to move forward. At a high level, this is our architecture. Again, we'll go into a lot of more details at our session today. But we are a cloud-based application. We are using the cross-data center replication. We ran into, this is our current architecture that we ended up with. We ran into a lot of situations, some issues, being in the cloud, some challenges across network zones, security issues, some XDCR issues. The good news is that we're working with our Couchbase partners in the support organization. They were great, jumped right in there with us, came on site, and we worked through all these things and fixed the issues, got things into production, and they were there when we needed them most. So a good success story here. This is just a high-level overview of our DevOps environment. We are agile teams. We run 2-week sprints. Couchbase has been plugged in now into our environment. We have the bulk of our testing is automated testing, even the new Couchbase services we've developed. So it's a pretty aggressive environment from the time that we get requirements to the times we have to deploy. So that's where the test automation comes in. So it's a pretty robust pipeline to get us from the development, testing, staging, and into production. So we'll go through a lot more details at our session later today on that. So how are we doing? When we put these slides together, we were at 30 million notes, and my team on the train this morning told me we're almost at 40 million notes as of this morning. So it's a fairly aggressive growth that we have seen. It's a little bit faster than what we expected. Between the notes being entered by a lot of the folks doing support work, there's a lot of automated notes that get generated in the systems now, leveraging this solution. About 90% of all the Comcast customer accounts now have at least one unified note in it. So very good penetration from that perspective. Right now we have over 61,000 people that are using this on a regular basis. So again, this shows that our goal was really to improve our Comcast customer experience, and by building this application, we have given a very strong tool to the folks that are working with our Comcast customers to make things better for them. This is one of the comments. This is from the vice president of our Comcast customer tools team, and she's the one that funded a lot of the work, so we're real happy that she's happy to keep the funding coming. So with that, I want to thank you for inviting me here today to kind of share the success that we've had working with Couchbase, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you so much, Scott. Really appreciate it. Thank you for coming, for sharing your story. We said right at the beginning that innovation is the name of the game, and that relentless, continuous innovation affecting the customer experience and transforming customer engagement. That's what we're all about. That's what we're here for today. We're excited to announce the world's first engagement database here at the conference in New York. We want to invite you, after the break, come and participate in the sessions of most interest to you. We thank all of our customers who are here speaking. We thank you for Comcast coming and spending even more time going into more detail. We thank you for M-Platform to share their story with us today. Our partners who are also represented in the conference, we really appreciate them, and we thank them for their contributions, both the speakers and exhibitors. Please make the most of the rest of your day. Have a wonderful day. We look forward to seeing you in the social this evening. Enjoy your break now. Thank you. Enjoy.